Hey everyone, this is Bridget, and today we're going to be talking about how to tap into and connect with more of your cosmic self, particularly through utilizing the stars. It's really fun, it's really simple, and it's really expansive, because many of us on this path as starseeds or people connecting with our greater cosmic selves honestly have been put in a little bit of a box, and so I want to break out of that box. And the box being that there are certain frequencies, right, certain civilizations that we know about, that people are connecting to. And so when they come upon this path or this segment of spirituality and connecting with cosmic beings, it's like, okay, here's the menu. So you've got Pleiadian or Arcturian, Orion. I don't know if I want to choose that one, and so we're matching ourselves to this kind of limited menu, honestly, of the different connections that we may have. And I want to bust that open because there's so much more. There's so much more. And having worked with so many people over the years, I know this because when I'm tapping into their energy, I'm like, whoa, yeah, you're none of those, and you are something else entirely, an amazing, unique frequency coming from a certain star system or star energy that hasn't been named or matched to a name yet. And honestly, that would happen in about 40% of my sessions. And even if you may have a strong, say, Pleiadian connection like I do, that doesn't mean that that's it. That's the end. That there's so much more. So that's what I want to get into today is, well, then how do we start? How do we start connecting in with these energies so that we can bring through more of an expansive cosmic narrative transmission? Now, I know I'm outside. There's a lot of sun. Forgot how light Sedona can be. But nonetheless, let's get into it. So before we get into kind of the practical how-to, I want to take you into the energy of what we're communing here with. We're communing with celestial living bodies. So stars, planets, they are living beings, just like Earth is a living, breathing being. And some of these are non-physical collectives of souls that have come together that comprise and make up the energy of a star. So we're talking about very, very, very high frequencies. And some of it are, physical beings on a civilization or on a certain planet, or quasi-physical beings. So there's a myriad of things to connect with, but just kind of upping our scope of our experience of what it can be to commune with energies beyond, say, what is familiar in, say, a physical context, right? So it's the Nordic beings show up and they're human-like and hot, right? It's okay, let's go beyond that and tap into something more, we'll just say. And so in that space of connecting in with something more, one of the things that we're also doing is tapping into the same energetics and the same communication as our ancestors did here on Earth. And when I say ancestors, I mean, we're talking about very advanced civilizations in Lemuria and Atlantis and, beyond the creation of the Great Pyramids. All of those are aligned, these sacred sites, with the celestial bodies. They had the same stars, the same transmissions to connect into, to get the downloads, to advance themselves spiritually, technologically, etc., etc. And so we have that same access. We're looking at the exact same stars. It might be in different positions, but they were relatively the same. And so in that space, we can also tap into, say, past lives if we want to, to access those memories we may have had on Earth. So there's a lot that we can do on a cosmic level, on a human level, by just connecting with the transmission. And one of the things that has been really interesting to me, I just got back from Hawaii, and we were talking about this with the group, and a few of the people are very connected, and I love you guys, shout out, are very connected to the stars, and they had never really been able to see Pleiades in the sky. And this was kind of confusing. I know the Pleiades is kind of hard to find, but Nonetheless, I have lived, in Hawaii and Sedona, where there is complete clarity of the night sky. And in certain places, obviously, like Chicago and DC, in certain cities, you can't see it. And so, to a certain degree, if you can't see it, that transmission isn't able to fully come through. And that's why certain things like pollution or chemis, if they are not wanting us to receive these transmissions or whatever it is, nonetheless, as much as in this process we can actually get firsthand access to these energies and let the clear stream of light come through, the better and the clearer the transmission and the downloads will be. So that's the first thing that I wanted to say. And then the other part is that the brighter the star, the more impact it's going to have. The more light we are seeing, and that can come and commune with us too. So connecting with brighter stars is kind of like the easiest way, the path of least resistance. As well, that's why, right, everyone is already so versed and connect with the moon, because it's just right there. Or like right now I'm connecting with the sun, which both of them have their own spirit qualities and transmissions, but it's more obvious because they're just right there beating on you. And so we have to kind of look past, past the moon, and what's the next one, what's the next brightest star, which is Sirius, and then it goes from there, and it's like, okay, so let me connect with these different stars. So now how do we actually connect? Now this is where it gets actually really, really fun. So we're going to go out in the night. And in the night too, many of you probably feel that the kind of action and activity psychic field just kind of drops because everyone goes to sleep. So it's a really great time to tune in and have more capacity to connect spiritually. So just being in the night is going to be helpful. And going out to a clear space, that might mean you have to go out to the country, right? To access the pure light without any interference, to really get in the full transmission of doing these kinds of exercises. Then the next piece is to just, have no expectation. That's one of the things that I see a lot, especially in the ufology community, is we're so geared to just be looking for spaceships, when the kind of spaceship technology is actually far inferior to a star made up of non-physical collective souls, right? So it's kind of one of those things where we want to see the physical because it makes us, know that it's true. But at the same time, if we can see the reality of a freaking star in front of us and take that in, it's going to be even higher. So I would suggest removing the expectations of seeing any kind of UFO or phenomenology and just taking in the cosmos for what it is, right? Just being present to it, and kind of almost blurring your eyes and just letting your energy and letting your eyes scan the night sky. And just feel it, tune in, look at a different star, something, you don't know what it is too. We'll get to that in a second. Just looking at it for maybe, 3 to 5 minutes, just one of them, and just moving between them and noticing their different energies and qualities, and just getting versed in this new kind of stream of what we're connecting with. And then, as you kind of get a lay of the land or a lay of the stars, at that point then actually choosing one to go deeper with, and maybe taking another 10 to 20 to 30 minutes to actually just commune and just connect with that particular star or planet. You might not know what it is, and ideally you actually don't. And you just feel and receive any streams of energy coming towards you. Now, this can stay very abstract. It doesn't have to mean that you're getting psychic, images or messages. Maybe you are, but it can just be the light itself giving you that transmission, because the unpacking of that might come in your dream time afterwards or in days to come, or it might just be a frequency download that doesn't have a physical verbal translation, and that's okay too. And so just really taking that in. And so that can be what it is. Now you can extend this, and I suggest doing this multiple days, and maybe even a week, and maybe connecting with that same place for night after night, seeing how it changes, see how you change. You can move on to different ones too, but just kind of sticking with it. And then after that, you can get the Star Map app. There's many different kinds, so whichever kind you prefer. And you can scan the night sky, right, with your phone, and then you can see what that one was, or what that couple was that you were connecting with. And you can then begin to feel and correlate certain energies with that particular place. And it might be a place that you have, a connection with from another time, or it might just be a place that's wanting to connect with you in this moment. But that is a way, and to really start getting a new, deeper transmission that is uniquely your own. That's what I like about this, is it's your experience. And this is where all of the information about the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Sirians came from, is people's own personal experiences, and then those kind of corroborated with other people's experience, and that became then like commonplace of what that civilization or energy is. Now, that still is limited because it's so much more, right? We're just coming together as maybe, whoever, maybe 100 humans have felt, say, a certain energy and then compiled that, and that's what it is. But it's so much more, it can be so much more expansive, even the ones that we already know about. And this is connecting in with new ones, right? So it's like, well, how was I able to Google Orion and know what the energy is? It's because of this. It's because people were doing this. Not maybe necessarily just connecting with the stars, but this was an inroads for this initial connection, so that we have a greater understanding and scope of what the energies are and what these civilizations are doing and how they're interacting with us. So you can be a participant in discovering that for yourself, for your own personal expansion and understanding, and then it can be something that can be shared to assist other people as well. So I find that really beautiful, really powerful, really empowering. And I got this inspiration to do this because I was doing this under the stars in Sedona right here, and it wasn't a specific star, but the star transmission said, hey, do this video and let people know that there's much more to connect with, right? And so I got the inspiration to do this video because of that. And I had been given a book about 8 years ago that is called Starlight Elixir. And it talked about how to create, so we're going to get into now a couple other ways that you can capture this starlight energy and then work with it even more. So one of the ways is through starlight elixirs, and this book was given to me, and I didn't end up reading it, but I understood the idea, and so that came back into my mind when this transmission came through to do this video, and it was like, hey, go get that book again and really start to deliver this energy and this message. And so I suggest going and getting it. It's out of print, and so maybe by the time you see this, it's going to be sold out, but you can get it on Amazon. So go get it now, because after, a few thousand of you guys watch this, it might be gone forever. But we can maybe share it amongst the community and such. Anyways, so two other ways that I want to talk about that you can then capture this energy. Obviously, you're capturing it in your own etheric body so that it's accessible, and maybe you have certain activations, right? You're waking up cellular memories, so you're capturing it in your own way in the moment of this engagement and this communion. In addition, two ways that you can kind of capture it to then work with it kind of not under the stars or in different moments, in different times, is through the starlight elixirs and through crystals, right? There's many other ways, but those are the two ways that are coming to me to connect with them. So for the starlight elixir, what that is almost like a flower essence, right? So you take water, when water can hold memory, right? Can hold information, can hold light, very well. And in that space, then you connect that certain, star, or that certain planet, or that certain energy that you're connecting with, and instruct the water to hold that vibration and to bring it into its system. And then you can put alcohol in it, and it will actually keep that vibration, so that at different times, say in your meditations, you can connect in with that energy. It's a very simplified version. I think I'll probably do another video, if you guys want, comment below, on more crystal instruction and more, starlight elixir instruction, because that's just fun. But that's one way that you can do it. Now, noting, I didn't say this earlier, but if you're still with me, yay. The subtlety of this is quite pronounced, of this whole engagement. You guys watching this are sensitive, so you'll probably feel it, but it is one of those things that the more you do your personal work, you do your meditations, and you build your capacity to perceive through your etheric body, the more useful this whole exercise will be. So I suggest going and watching my video on cultivating prana and chi in the etheric body, because the more that you do this, the more that you'll perceive. And that's what I experienced when I was just in Kauai. I haven't been there in 3 years, and because I've been doing so much work in cultivation, I could perceive so much more. It was so palpable for me. Now, I'm just sensitive, so it usually is, but it was on a whole other level. So even though it's not related, again, to like the stars and such, doing your personal practices will really help in the long term to have these other really fun cosmic connections. So Starlight Elixir is one, crystals is the other. Now right here, I'll show you in just a second, but Sedona is made out of quartz crystal and iron oxide. And so the quartz crystal is getting these transmissions of the stars and holding that energetic imprint. So one of the things that's happening too is that the land itself can hold the imprints of the cosmos, and that's actually, in a healthy system, that's what's happening, is the transmission between the stars and the earth. And that's become a little bit more challenged for the natural energies to flow because of electromagnetics and city stuff. The earth can't actually be in balance, but nonetheless, in these kinds of places, you can actually just lay on the earth and also receive the transmission from the stars, and that kind of synergy of groundedness and cosmic connection at the same time, which is super cool. And there are many, many different places around Earth that are built on, quartz. I think my friend just said that, like, Austin, Texas is on, like, rose quartz, and there's so many different places that have this transmission and can take it into the earth. So actually instructing your crystal once it is cleared, I'll go into that in another video too. This is my crystal. Can you see my invisible crystal? Instructing my crystal to take in and to hold the light transmissions of blank, of that particular star, right? And then you use your third eye to connect that energy with the crystal holding this space, and call in light and higher transmissions to be infused into that and to hold that energetic imprint. And then you can utilize that in meditation and in whatever you need to go further into the connection with the energy. So those are two ways that you can take it home with you, because if you're in a city or you're in a place that you're not just going to be going outside all the time, that's a great way to have it accessible at any moment, which is powerful. And that is a lot of what we did in other civilizations, so that can bring up those memories as well. Now, one of the last things that I wanted to say was that the more that we go up, the more that we connect high, the more that it's so important to connect down with the earth. And so we really want to make sure to do that. And it is easy to just, just like stay out there. But but our mission here, right, is to bring it back down to earth and ground it here. So just make sure to do that. So the more you're connecting out there, equally connect down here to Earth. And just remember, the Earth is amazing. Earth is nurturing. Earth is yin. Earth is the mother. It's got you. So it's safe and it's okay. So just wanted to bring that in as well. So this is just the beginning. These are just some of the ways that you can begin to connect and expand your personal and our collective repertoire of the cosmos, which is super fun and exciting to me. It's starting to get more warm here, obviously. And so I'm going to be doing a lot of this, and we'll talk more about it. So if you want me to do more on this subject and go deeper and everything, I think that would be really fun. So let me know if that's interesting to you. And if you like videos like this, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell button so you get notifications every time I do new videos. Be sure to go check me out on Instagram for more daily updates. And I will see you for sure every Tuesday with a new video, and sometimes bonus Thursdays as well. So I think that's all for now. I kind of don't want to say goodbye. This is really fun, and I'm liking being outside. Comment below to let me know what you think of me filming outside. I'm just going to start doing more of it. I like the inside because it's really, really easy. And you don't have like this light thing going on. But at the same time, feeling the transmission of like the earth coming through the screen is really inspiring. And as I'm traveling a lot this year, I definitely want to capture that. So let me know if you're interested in that. All right. See you soon.